Greetings, you seekers of strength, you wanderers caught in the tempests of life's unpredictability. I am Niccolò Machiavelli, your guide through the shadowed corridors of human struggle, here to arm you with the wisdom to stand unyielding when the world around you crumbles. Tonight, we embark on a journey through the first of my 10 laws of mental strengthening. Embrace the brutal truth. This is no gentle counsel, no soothing balm for the faint of heart. It is a call to wield the sharp blade of reality, to cut through the fog of delusion and face the world as it truly is. When life falls apart, when fortune turns her cruel gaze upon you, only the truth can be your foundation. Let us delve into this law, for what it is the bedrock upon which all resilience is built. Imagine yourself standing amidst the ruins of your ambitions, perhaps a career you've toiled for lies in tatters, a relationship you cherished has dissolved into betrayal, or an unforeseen calamity has swept away your sense of security. The natural impulse is to recoil, to weave a comforting tale that softens the blow. You might tell yourself it's not so bad, that things will magically resolve, that the fault lies elsewhere. But hear me now, this is the path of the weak, the road to ruin. To embrace the brutal truth is to stare into the abyss of your circumstances without flinching. It is to ask, with the cold clarity of a strategist, what is the true state of my affairs? What is broken? What remains? Who are my allies and who are my foes? This is not mere pessimism. It is the courage to see the battlefield as it is, not as you wish it to be. Consider the prince who governs a city under siege. Does he pretend the enemy is weaker than they are? Does he ignore the dwindling supplies or the cracks in his walls? No, he surveys the field with unsparing eyes. He counts the soldiers, measures the grain, and notes every weakness in his defenses. So too must you, when life's siege begins. If your finances are failing, do not hide behind vague hopes of sudden wealth. Open the ledger, tally the debts, and face the numbers. If a friendship has sore, do not cling to nostalgic illusions. Examine the words, the actions, the betrayals. If your health falters, do not deny the symptoms, seek the diagnosis, however grim. The truth, however harsh, is your map. Without it, you wander blind, stumbling into traps of your own making. But why, you ask, should you face such pain? Why not shield yourself with comforting lies, at least for a time? Because lies are chains. They bind you to inaction, to false hope, to decisions that crumble under pressure. The truth, though it stings, sets you free to act. It reveals the terrain of your struggle, showing you where to build, where to fight, where to retreat. In my time, I watched men fall not because fortune was cruel, but because they refused to see her cruelty for what it was. A merchant who ignores his failing trade sinks into poverty. A lover who denies a partner's deceit drowns in heartbreak. A leader who pretends all is well loses his throne. To embrace the truth is to arm yourself with the only weapon that matters: clarity. Now, let us make this practical, for wisdom without action is mere rhetoric. When life falls apart, take up the habit of questioning. Sit in a quiet moment, pen in hand, and write the truth of your situation. What has happened? What are the consequences? What resources do you still command? Be ruthless in your honesty. If you've lost a job, note the skills you still possess, the contacts you can call upon, the time you now have to pivot. If a dream has died, acknowledge its passing, but search the ashes for what can be salvaged. This act of writing is not mere reflection. It is a declaration of war against illusion. It forces your mind to confront what you might otherwise avoid. And do not stop at the surface. Dig deeper. Ask why this calamity struck. Was it chance, or did your own choices pave the way? In my writings, I urged princes to study the causes of their victories and defeats. So must you. If a business failed, was it the market, or did you overlook warning signs? If a relationship ended, was it fate, or did you ignore cracks in its foundation? This is not to wallow in guilt, but to sharpen your mind for the battles ahead. The truth reveals not just what is, but what can be done. Let me share a tale from my own time to drive this home. In Florence, a man I knew, a merchant of some repute, faced ruin when his ships were lost to pirates. His peers wailed and cursed their luck, but he sat in his chambers, charting his losses. He counted his remaining coin, listed his allies, and faced the truthing his trade routes were no longer safe. Rather than lament, he shifted his ventures to overland trade, forging new alliances with those who could protect his goods. While others fell to despair, he rose again, not because fortune favored him, but because he saw the world as it was and acted accordingly. So must you. To embrace the brutal truth is not to surrender to despair, but to claim power over it. It is to say, I see you, fortune, in all your cruelty, and I will not be deceived. It is to stand as a prince in your own mind, commanding the chaos rather than being its victim. Practice this daily, even in small matters. When you err, admit it. When you succeed, know why. When life strikes, face the blow and study its source. This is the first law, the cornerstone of mental strength, and it is yours to wield if you dare. Welcome back, brave souls navigating the treacherous tides of existence. I am Niccolò Machiavelli, your steadfast guide through the art of mental strength, forged in the crucible of life's unrelenting trials. Tonight, we turn to the second of my 10 laws of Fortify your will as a citadel. This is no idle metaphor, no putic flourish. Your mind is your stronghold, the last bastion against the assaults of fortune. Be it loss, betrayal, or the chaos that seeks to unravel you. When life falls apart, only a fortified will can stand unbroken. To master this law is to build an impregnable fortress within, a sanctuary of resolve that no storm can breach. Let us explore how to construct this citadel, brick by brick, so that you may face any siege with unshaken resolve. Picture yourself in a moment of crisis. The world presses in, debts mount, relationships fracture, or your dreams lie shattered at your feet. In such times, the untrained mind falters. It succumbs to despair, scatters under pressure, or flees into distraction. But a prince does not crumble when his city is besieged, and neither shall you. Your will is the commander of your soul, and to fortify it is to train it as a warrior trains for battle. This is not a gift bestowed by fortune. It is a skill honed through deliberate effort. Like a citadel built stone by stone, your mental strength grows through daily discipline, preparing you to withstand the darkest hours. Consider the nature of a fortress. Its walls are not raised in a day, nor are they left untended. They are built with care, reinforced over time, and guarded against decay. So too must you treat your will. Begin with small acts of discipline, for they are the mortar that binds your resolve. Rise at a set hour, even when sleep tempts you to linger. Commit to a task, however modest, and see it through, no matter the obstacles. Read a book that challenges your mind, or meditate to still the clamor of your thoughts. These are not mere habits. They are drills for the battlefield of life. Each time you choose effort over ease, you add a stone to your citadel, making it stronger for the trials to come. Why such rigor, you ask? Because life's blows do not wait for you to be ready. Fortune strikes without warning, and a weak will is as useless as a crumbling wall. In my time, I saw men of great promise fall not for lack of talent, but for lack of resolve. A merchant who could not face lean years abandoned his trade. A soldier who feared hardship fled the field. A scholar who shunned discipline lost his mind to idleness. But those who thrived, princes, generals, thinkers, shared one trait: a will forged like iron. They trained in peacetime so that war could not break them. You must do the same. Let us make this practical, for words alone do not build fortresses. Start with a daily practice of focus. Choose one task each morning, perhaps writing, exercise, or study, and dedicate 30 minutes to it without distraction. If your mind wanders, drag it back. If boredom gnaws, endure it. This is not about the task itself, but about commanding your will to obey. Over weeks, extend the time, add complexity. You are not merely working, you are sculpting your mind, teaching it to hold firm under strain. When life's chaos descends, this discipline will be your anchor. Another tool is the practice of discomfort. Seek out small hardships willingly, for they temper your resolve. Take a cold shower, fast for a day, or walk a long path when you could drive. These acts teach you to override impulse, to choose purpose over pleasure. In Florence, I knew a man who, to steal his mind, would forego wine and fine meals for a month each year. When plague struck and others panicked, he remained calm, his will unshaken by deprivation. Such is the power of voluntary hardship. It prepares you for the involuntary trials life will bring. But discipline alone is not enough. Your citadel needs a purpose, a banner to fly above its towers. Ask yourself, what drives me? Is it family, legacy, truth, or creation? A clear purpose fuels your will, giving it direction. Write it down, revisit it daily, and let it guide your efforts. A prince builds his fortress not for its own sake, but to protect his realm. So too must your will serve a greater end, lest it falter in moments of doubt. And do not neglect reflection. Each evening, review your day as a general reviews a campaign. Where did your will hold strong? Where did it waver? Note your victories, however small, and learn from your lapses. This habit sharpens your awareness, ensuring your citadel is never left unguarded. In my writings, I urged rulers to study their actions relentlessly. You must do the same, for self-knowledge is the foundation of strength. Finally, beware the enemies within. Doubt, fear, and laziness are saboteurs that undermine your walls. When they whisper, counter them with action. If doubt says you cannot endure, prove it wrong by enduring. If fear warns of failure, act despite it. If laziness tempts you to rest, rise and move. Each victory over these foes strengthens your will, making your citadel ever more formidable. To fortify your will is to claim sovereignty over your mind. It is to say, I am the master of my fate, and no calamity shall unseat me. Begin today with small acts, clear purpose, and relentless reflection. Build your citadel now, in the calm before the storm, and when life falls apart, you will stand as a prince, unbowed and unbreakable. Greetings once more, valiant souls who dare to face the tempests of life's caprice. I am Niccolò Machiavelli, your guide through the shadowed art of mental fortitude, drawn from the timeless strategies of power and survival. Tonight, we delve into the third of my 10 laws, master the art of adaptability. When life falls apart, when fortune shifts the ground beneath your feet, rigidity is the herald of ruin. To stand strong, you must move like a river, carving new paths around obstacles, bending without breaking. This law is not about surrender, but about mastery. The cunning ability to turn chaos into opportunity. Let us explore how to wield adaptability as a prince wields a scepter, ensuring you thrive where others falter. Imagine a storm sweeping through your life, a cherished plan collapses. A business fails, a relationship ends, or an unexpected crisis upends your stability. The instinct is to cling to what was, to fight against the current, to demand that the world conform to your vision. But this is folly. The oak that stands rigid snaps in the gale, while the reed bends and endures. Adaptability is the art of bending, of reading the winds of change and adjusting your course. It is not weakness but wisdom, the mark of a mind that sees the world as it is and reshapes its strategies to conquer it. To master this law is to become fluid, to dance with fortune rather than defy her. In my time, I watched princes rise and fall by their ability to adapt. A ruler who clung to outdated alliances lost his throne when new powers emerged. A merchant who refused to shift trade routes sank into ruin when old paths grew perilous. But those who thrived, those who claimed victory over fortune's whims, were those who studied the shifting tides and moved with them. When life falls apart, you must do the same. Ask yourself what has changed. What new paths lie open? What opportunities hide within the chaos? This is not mere survival. It is the art of turning adversity into advantage. Consider how you might apply this in your own trials. If a career stalls, do not chain yourself to a dying industry. Study the market, learn new skills, pivot to where demand grows. If a personal loss leaves you adrift, do not dwell in the past. Seek new connections, new purposes that align with the present. Adaptability is not about abandoning your goals, but about finding new ways to reach them. In Florence, I knew a diplomat who, when war closed the borders, turned to espionage, using whispers and shadows to secure his city's interests. He did not lament the closed gates, he found another way. So must you, when life's gates slam shut. To master adaptability, you must first cultivate awareness. Be a student of your circumstances. Each day, take a moment to survey your world. What has shifted? Are there new threats, new allies, new possibilities? Write these down, as a general maps a battlefield. This habit sharpens your mind, keeping it attuned to change. When crisis strikes, you will not be caught unaware. You will already know the terrain. For example, if your finances falter, track the trends. Are costs rising? Opportunities shrinking? If a relationship strains, note the signs. Are words growing sharp or silence is heavy? Awareness is the compass that guides your adaptation. Next, train yourself to act swiftly. Adaptability is not passive waiting. It is decisive movement. When you see a change, test a response. If a job is lost, apply to new roles, even outside your comfort zone. If a dream fades, explore a new path, however small the first step. Action breeds clarity. In my writings, I urged princes to seize the moment, for fortune favors the bold. Delay, and opportunity slips away. Start with small experiments. Try a new skill, reach out to a new contact, explore a different routine. Each step teaches you what works, refining your course. But adaptability requires courage, for it demands you release the familiar. Letting go of old plans stings, yet it is necessary. Ask, what must I release to move forward? A prince does not cling to a crumbling fortress. He builds a new. If a business model fails, abandon it for one that suits the times. If a relationship cannot be mended, seek peace in new bonds. This is not defeat, it is strategy. To ease this shift, practice flexibility in small ways daily. Change your routine, try a new hobby, or listen to a perspective you'd normally dismiss. These acts loosen the grip of habit, preparing you for larger pivots when life demands them. Finally, seek inspiration in chaos. Where others see ruin, a master of adaptability sees potential. A lost job frees time for a bold venture. A broken plan reveals paths you never considered. In my time, a city under siege turned scarcity into ingenuity, crafting new weapons from what remained. So too must you search for the hidden leverage in your struggles. Ask, what can I gain from this? A new skill, a fresh perspective, a chance to rebuild stronger. Adaptability turns the rubble of life into the foundation for victory. Greetings, bold spirits who tread the unpredictable paths of life's battlefield. I am Niccolò Machiavelli, your guide through the unyielding wisdom of mental strength, forged in the fires of human struggle. Tonight, we turn to the fourth of my 10 laws. Cultivate ruthless self-reliance. When life falls apart, when the pillars of your world, friends, fortune, or favor, crumble, you must stand alone, a solitary fortress against the storm. This law is not about isolation, but about power, the power to depend on no one but yourself, to be the architect of your own salvation. To master self-reliance is to wield the strength of a prince who needs no allies to hold his throne. Let us uncover how to forge this iron-clad independence, ensuring you rise unshaken when chaos descends. Picture a moment when the ground beneath you gives way. A trusted ally betrays you, a job vanishes, or a loved one turns their back. In such times, the temptation is to lean on others, to seek rescue in the arms of friends, family, or fleeting promises. But hear me now, this is a trap. Others may falter, their loyalty may waver, and their aid may come with chains. The only constant is you, your mind, your skills, your resolve. Self-reliance is not a rejection of connection, but a recognition that, in life's darkest hours, you must be your own savior. As I wrote, he who relies least on fortune sustains himself the longest. To cultivate this law is to build a reservoir of strength within, so that no betrayal or loss can leave you helpless. In my time, I saw men rise and fall by their dependence on others. A merchant who trusted partners to manage his trade lost all when they cheated him. A soldier who relied on comrades faltered when they fled. But those who thrived, princes, scholars, survivors, knew the value of standing alone. They honed their skills, gathered knowledge, and prepared for the day when no one would come to their aid. You must do the same. When life falls apart, ask, what do I possess within me to rebuild? Your answer lies not in external hands but in your own. Your cunning, your resilience, your ability to act. To cultivate ruthless self-reliance, begin by taking stock of your resources. What skills do you command? What knowledge can you wield? If you've lost a job, do not wait for another to appear. Learn a new trade, master a craft, or turn a hobby into a venture. If a relationship ends, do not seek solace in new promises. Build your own peace through study, creation, or purpose. In Florence, I knew a man who, when his family's wealth vanished, taught himself to trade in spices, relying on no one but his own wit. He rose not because others lifted him, but because he lifted himself. So must you by knowing your strengths and sharpening them daily. This requires action, not mere thought. Set aside time each day to build your arsenal. Learn a skill that serves you, coding, writing, or even the art of negotiation. Read books that expand your mind, from philosophy to practical guides. Practice problem solving in small ways. Fix a broken tool, plan a budget, or navigate a challenge without aid. Each act of independence is a brick in your foundation, proof that you can stand alone. When crisis strikes, these skills will be your lifeline, allowing you to move forward while others wait for rescue. But self-reliance demands more than skills. It requires a mindset. You must trust yourself above all others. Doubt will whisper that you're not enough, that you need help, that someone else holds the key. Silence it with evidence of your own competence. Recall past victories, however small, times you solved a problem, endured a hardship, or learned something new. Write them down, revisit them. Let them remind you of your strength. A prince does not question his right to rule. Neither should you question your right to rely on yourself. This confidence is not arrogance but a shield, forged through experience. Beware the lure of dependence, for it is subtle. Friends may offer help, but their motives may shift. Systems may promise security, but they can collapse. Even love, though sweet, can falter. To be self-reliant is to value these things but never need them. Test this in small ways. Spend a day alone, solving your own problems. Cook a meal without a recipe, navigate a new place without a map, or face a fear without seeking reassurance. These acts train your mind to trust its own power, preparing you for the day when no one else is there. Finally, embrace preparation as your ally. A self-reliant mind anticipates trouble. Save resources when times are good, money, knowledge, or even emotional reserves. Build networks not for dependence but for leverage, knowing you can walk away if needed. In my writings, I urged princes to prepare for war in peacetime. So too must you prepare for life's battles, ensuring you have the tools to fight alone. This is not cynicism but strategy, the mark of a mind that refuses to be caught unawares. Greetings, resilient souls who brave the storms of an uncertain world. I am Niccolò Machiavelli, your guide through the intricate dance of mental strength, drawn from the timeless strategies of power and survival. Tonight, we turn to the fifth of my 10 laws: wield fear and hope as tools. When life falls apart, when the foundations of your existence tremble, your heart becomes a battlefield where fear and hope vie for control. These are not mere emotions. They are forces, twin reins that can either steer you to triumph or drag you into ruin. To master this law is to harness fear and hope as a prince commands his court, balancing them with precision to navigate chaos with unwavering resolve. Let us explore how to wield these tools, ensuring you remain the master of your soul when fortune strikes. Picture yourself in a moment of crisis. A dream shatters, a betrayal stings, or an unforeseen loss looms large. Fear creeps in, whispering of failure, of pain, of all that could go wrong. Hope counters, promising recovery, new beginnings, or a brighter dawn. Left unchecked, these forces can tear you apart. Fear paralyzing you into inaction, hope blinding you with false promises. But a wise mind does not surrender to either. Instead, it uses them as a prince uses advisors, drawing strength from their counsel while never letting them rule. To wield fear and hope is to channel their energy, letting fear sharpen your vigilance and hope fuel your ambition, all while keeping both in check. In my time, I observed how men were swayed by these twin forces. A general gripped by fear hesitated, and his army fell. A merchant lost to hope invested rashly, and his fortune vanished. But those who thrived, princes, strategists, survivors, knew how to balance the two. They let fear warn them of dangers, but not cripple them. They let hope inspire bold moves, but not delude them. When life falls apart, you must do the same. Ask, how can fear protect me without ruling me? How can hope drive me without blinding me? This balance is the art of mental strength, the key to steering through any storm. To wield fear as a tool, begin by listening to it. Fear is not your enemy. It is a sentinel, alerting you to risks. If you fear losing a job, it signals the need to prepare, update your skills, save resources, or seek new paths. If you fear a relationship's end, urges you to examine its cracks, to act before they widen. But fear must not paralyze. When it rises, name it. Write down what you fear most: failure, loneliness, ruin. Then, for each fear, list one action you can take to counter it. This transforms fear from a chain into a guide. In Florence, I knew a diplomat who feared war's outbreak. Instead of freezing, he used that fear to negotiate alliances, securing his city's safety. So too must you turn fear into action. Hope, meanwhile, is the fire that drives you forward, but it must be tempered. Unchecked hope breeds delusion, making you chase mirages. A job that will never return, a love that cannot be salvaged. To wield hope, anchor it in reality. Define what you hope for: a new career, a mended bond, a stronger self. Then map the steps to reach it, no matter how small. Hope without a plan is a dream. Hope with a plan is a strategy. For example, if you hope to rebuild after a financial loss, don't merely wish for wealth. Set a budget, learn a skill, or seek a mentor. Hope becomes a tool when it inspires action, not fantasy. Balance is the key, and this requires practice. Each day, take a moment to assess your fears and hopes. Ask, what am I afraid of today? What do I hope for? Write your answers, then challenge them. Is your fear grounded, or is it a shadow magnified by doubt? Is your hope realistic, or is it a wish unmoored from truth? This habit sharpens your ability to use both wisely. In my writings, I urged princes to balance fear and love in their rule. So too must you balance fear and hope in your mind, ensuring neither dominates. To make this practical, create a ritual. Each morning, set one goal driven by hope, a step toward a better future, like applying for a job or mending a relationship. Then, identify one fear that could hinder you and counter it with a specific action, like researching a solution or seeking advice. This dual approach keeps you moving forward while staying vigilant. I once knew a scholar who feared obscurity but hoped for renown. He used his fear to study relentlessly and his hope to publish boldly, rising to fame through disciplined balance. You can do the same, turning fear and hope into allies. Finally, guard against extremes. Fear can spiral into despair, hope into recklessness. When you feel overwhelmed, pause, breathe deeply, and return to your anchor, the truth of your situation. Test your fears against reality. Are they as large as they seem? Ground your hopes in what you can control, small, tangible steps. This discipline ensures that fear and hope serve you, not rule you. A prince does not let his court dictate his will, neither should you let these emotions dictate your path. And so, noble souls, we reach the end of our journey through the 10 laws of mental strength forged in the unyielding spirit of Niccolò Machiavelli. You have walked with me through the shadows of adversity, learning to embrace the brutal truth. Fortify your will as a citadel, master the art of adaptability, cultivate ruthless self-reliance, and wield fear and hope as tools. Each law, command your emotions, seek advantage in chaos, build alliances strategically, endure with calculated patience, and never surrender your purpose, has armed you with the tools to stand tall when life's tempests rage. These are not mere words, but a call to action, a blueprint for transforming your mind into a fortress that no calamity can breach. As I once wrote, fortune is a river that drowns the unprepared, but those who build their defenses with cunning and resolve can redirect its course. You are no longer victims of fate, but princes of your own destiny. Go forth, armed with these laws, and let the world tremble before your unbreakable will. The study grows dim, the candle fades, your strength burns eternal. Now, rise and conquer.